Hi guys. I'm sorry, I was concentrating. I was trying to peel this off of this. We're trying something new. So, I do a lot of TikTok. I'm on it for countless amount of time. And I be watching a lot of videos pertaining to scrapbooking. Now, although it's interesting and I love it and I like looking at it, and they do an awesome job putting it together, I'm not proficient in those type of things. It's just, it's not my desert forte. But I am going to try to put together a scenery like they do in scrapbooking. But then when I finish putting the scene together, I am not going to use it as a scrapbook. I'm going to cut out the piece that I want and I'm going to put it in resin. And we're going to try to see if it gives the same effect as the scrapbooking sheet in the journal. But it's going to be in a tray in resin. All right? So bear with me. I'm not going to do a lot of talking, but I'm going to try to put it together while we sitting here. Okay? So work with me. All right. So let's see. I put, first of all, the tray is about this big. This is like my template. I put it here. This is the background paper. And I'm going to put a scene together. I don't know how it's going to work out, guys, but I'm going to try to put it together. Okay? So bear with me, okay? So I'm going to put this here. I'm trying to keep the word post there. I don't want to cover it all the way. So this is like a little piece of paper. And this is two-sided tape. I bought all the stuff, most of the stuff, I'll say, from Amazon. And I bought a few things, not a lot, from Temu. So I'm going to show you what I got. All right. So that's stuck on there. And there's another little piece of paper. It's like a note, like a receipt book. You know how the lines are there and you can put in whatever you want. So that's that. So I'm going to just lay it in. Now this one I wanted to put it at the bottom. So this one's going to be at the bottom. You don't have to worry. You could just cut off the excess. All right, so you press down and the two-sided tape comes up. You put it from corner to corner. You could put it just in the middle if you want. It doesn't really matter as long as you get it stuck on there. Okay. So that's that. Then on this side, this is another piece of paper. And what I did was I just cut it off. And it was quite a big sheet like this. And I just ripped off a piece. And I'm going to put it right here. And then I'm going to build on top of this as well. So, put a little piece of tape right here. And we're going to put this right on top of this. All right. And this I'm going to put right on top of here. Now, some of these, and a lot of these come as stickers. They have a backing and they're stickers. So I have initials on this. Right? So the initials are Y and C. The initials are from my aunt. So I recently traveled to Puerto Rico on April 22nd. My oldest living relative, her name is Yolanda. She passed away. So it's been difficult with that experience. She was the last link I had to my parent, my mother, and my grandmother and my great grandmother. So I'm feeling a little melancholy about the situation. So I decided to do the little scrapbooking and incorporate some of her in there. She died on the 19th of April. So that's why I got the 19 up there. And I have her initials to her name. Right. And this is dedicated to her. She lived a long life, a good life, 90 years old. So I'm crying because I miss her, but she lived a good life. She did a lot. She traveled the world. She made her own home. She never depended on anybody. She never relied on everybody. She did everything for herself. She was a self-made woman. She had a good husband and she had a good life. She was born and raised in New York, and then at the age of 20 something, she moved to Puerto Rico with her husband, and they built a beautiful home. When I tell you beautiful, she did a beautiful home in Puerto Rico. Also, I'll show pictures. I'll try to incorporate it after I finish the scenery. I'll incorporate some pictures of the house. There's a video that I made about 2 years ago. I went to visit her. I visit her every year, but this particular time, it was about 2 years ago. And I got caught in the hurricane. Yes, Hurricane Fiona. When I tell you that I was scared. No lights, no water. And she's like, oh, that's nothing. If we made it through Maria, this is a piece of cake. I'm like, girl, I'm trying to get out of here with all this wind and stuff running around and banging and trees uprooted and stuff being slammed across the house. And oh my goodness. And she's like, that's nothing. I'm like, oh, really? Okay. It's crooked. I'm a little OCD. I can't leave it crooked. So she was like, oh, that's nothing. I'm like, nothing? Oh, no. Stop playing with me. We had shutters on the windows. It was just, it was something else. It really was. But she lived through countless, when I tell you countless storms, including that horrific Maria, where it wiped out so many homes and so many families and so much vegetation and scenery, and it was quite difficult for the islanders of Puerto Rico, but they made it through. They made it. They survived. They did. I don't know how they did it, but and she's a trooper. And let me tell you, she died in peace in her home, in her bed, with no problems. She just went quietly in her sleep. Everybody should pray to God that their last days are quiet and not filled with pain and suffering or some debilitating disease or disorder that has you hooked up to countless machines and stuff like that, because it's devastating to be like that, especially when you're an independent person and you don't want to count on anybody to do anything for you. So she She died on Thursday morning, and Tuesday, that Tuesday before she passed away, she was in her car running around doing things. I kid you not, running around doing things in her car at 90 years old on that island, just running, running, running. So for me to sit here and say, oh, her last days was rough and, she couldn't do nothing and she was dependent on people. Nope, that wasn't it. Not at all. So she did her thing. I'm sorry, that was my phone going off, but I'll send them the voicemail. I'll call them back. I'm busy right now. So, what can I say? I'm not going to be sitting here telling you, oh my God, it was so hard. And it was so, and she was, no, mm-mm. It was beautiful life. Quietly. For her services, she did not want sadness. She didn't want, of course, you're going to cry, you're human and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is that she wanted a party. So at the funeral, at the wake, she was, like I told you, she loved to dance. She was in the entertainment business when she was young. She was a professional dancer. So she wanted salsa playing. And we had the music going. We were dancing in front of her coffin, and we was having a good time. Even though it was sad in between, we had a fantastic time sending her away. So I'm here talking about her because I love the woman. My mother passed away. My grandmother raised me. My mother's mother. My mother passed away. And now this particular aunt, which was my favorite aunt, she was like a mother figure at the end. She helped me through a lot of things. She always had good advice. And I miss her. I miss her so much. But death is part of life. This is something that we all are going to go through. None of us are going to stay here forever. Okay, guys, I had a little malfunction with my phone. I was building the scenery and I was cutting it out, and I guess my phone ran out of space. So it just cut off. It stopped recording. So there was some more I was explaining about my aunt, and then I was talking about the scenery, and I cut it all out, and then I showed it, and I embellished it, and I put a little bit more things. Then I was talking about the tray. I put in on the perimeter, I put this particular color. It's like an apricot, right? With some glitter, and the glitter was this glitter right here. Right? And I poured in some clear, and then I poured the rest of that clear on top of the scenery, and I soaked the scenery up with resin, and then I laid it in here, and thus this is where we at. So the backing, I'm probably gonna put white in the backing. I don't want to put black. I don't want to put any dark colors. I want to keep it light like it is. So tomorrow I'll finish up this video. I'll put it all together and I'll upload it. And you tell me how you like scrapbooking in resin. All right? I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Okay, we're going to continue. So I'm going to back it with white. So the white that I'm going to use, I'm making a mess. You hear me, right? Bang and everything. The white that I'm gonna use is Unicorn Art Satin White Pure Pigment. So we're gonna put that in there. Trying to get a spoon. Hold on. I'm gonna put 3 heaping spoons. This is my favorite. I bought 5 jars off of Amazon. And I'm down to 1.5. So it's time to buy some more. You have to really mix this one up real good. I tend to mash it to the sides of the cup. If not, it will not mix up and you'll have little lumps and bumps in it. And then when you pour your resin, you'll have little specks of white that are undissolved pigment powder. And that's no good. So I tend to mush it to the side so I could get all them little pieces and break them up and incorporate them into. It's really pearly, but it's not beige. I don't like those whites that look like they're like a beigey color. Or should I say like a off-white or an antique white? It has a little yellowish to it. I don't like that. So this is the only one that I've bought and I like it. So I use it for everything. So I'm not going to put, like glitters or anything else in it because it's not really going to show. It's only going to show maybe right here and a little right here where the paper did not reach all the way. So that's the only thing that it might show. So for that, the white could just show. I don't need glitter. So I put it on. I have a cup coffee warmer. So what I tend to do is after I mix my resin, I sit it on the coffee warmer and I let it get heated. So right now it's like really, really warm, the resin. I think that's good, and I'm gonna pour it in. I'll start at the middle and work my way out. This is 4 ounces. 4 ounces to the tea. All right. So that's that. And I'll come back when it's time to demold. All right. Be back in a few. We're back. It's done. It just came out. And it's bendy and it's really, really warm, but it's 100% done. So I'm going to demold and we're going to look at it together and see how it turned out. All right. I'm kind of nervous, but not, if you understand. So it bowed a little, I guess from the heat, because I had it in the resin oven. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I got bubbles, but don't worry, I'll use some UV. But the rest of it came out great. Look. Scrapbook resin. See, here's the bubbles. See it? Got one right there, one right there, one right there. But don't worry, I will fix it. See, it's a little bold. I guess from the heat. But I'll put some UV and hit it, and it'll be just right. The other two little bubbles, they're not, they're underlined bubbles. They're not open, and I don't want to try to make it open and then get it messed up even further. So it'll be, this is like the prototype, the first one. I mean, it worked. It looks great to me. I mean, scrapbook scenery in resin. What y'all think? Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. You know, when I look at scrapbooking and I see people putting all these layers and all these things together, the first thing I think of is Claire's Crafty Corner, because you know she likes to build. She likes to put things and tattoos and layers and foliage and all of that stuff. And her trays come out fantastic. I mean, really, 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 really good. So shout outs to Claire's Crafty Corner, because she does some amazing work with these trays and her Jasminite, and all I can say is wow. But here it is. Here's a little tray for my auntie, and it looks nice. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Watch the video. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. Share. Like. Okay? Bye. Talk to y'all later. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Bye.